Hello YouTube. This next video is the second in a series that I started yesterday. I uploaded a video of the Maui schooner, working on the timeshares that I own on Hawaii. I own one on Maui, and then I own one on Kauai. And then I'm also going to do one for the condo that I own on Molokai. So I'm going to do these three videos first. They're just general overviews of the island and the condos and the timeshares and how they work. And then afterwards, I'm going to go back through and I'm going to put them all together, break them up a little bit, because you could spend a lot of time on each section of what I put on in the video here. So first off, on the Pono Kai is the one that I'm going to be doing today, the Pono Kai Resort. It's in Kapa'a on Kauai, and that's on the east side of the island. The Pono Kai is a little bit different because there are multiple management companies that are running parts of the resort. So there's Blue Green is a timeshare company. There's the Pono Kai Interval Owners. That's the one that I belong to. They own the majority of the units there. There's Pacific Fantasy, which is another management company there. There's VRI, which is Vacation Resorts International. And then there's people who own the whole condo, so they own it themselves. So one thing to keep in mind if you're looking at the Pono Kai Resort, like on TripAdvisor or any of these other travel sites, you have to be careful of what ownership management company is running those condos that you're staying at. Because they're going to vary differently. Each management company is not keeping them up the same. The owners who own the whole unit, they're not putting a lot of money into theirs, whereas some other people are putting a lot of money into their condo. So they're going to vary quite a bit. One good thing about the Pono Kai Interval Owners, the ones that I belong to, it's managed by Pohaku Resort Management, and they've been going through an extensive remodel of all the units there at the Pono Kai that they own. So the good thing about that is they're working through it a little bit at a time. So right now there's 10 buildings at the Pono Kai, and there are 4 that are direct oceanfront. The A building, B building, C building, and D building. Right now the A and B are completely renovated. The C building is what they're working on right now. The H building is done, the J building is done, and then there's the E building is also done. F and E, they have some units done in those buildings, but they're not completely done yet. And then next year, I believe they're going to be completing the D building. So if you go to my website and you want to stay there, if you do that, make sure you're booking well a year in advance. Even a little bit over is fine, because then I could save a week for you. But keep in mind of where you want to be. Do you want a renovated unit, or is just being oceanfront good enough for you? So right now A, B, and they're working on C are renovated. I do own both 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units. I own more 1-bedroom units than I do 2-bedroom units. So, but and there are more 1-bedroom units in the whole complex. So it's a little bit easier to get oceanfront 1-bedroom than there is oceanfront 2-bedroom. Another unique thing about the Pono Kai is that they have loft units. So they have a typical 1-bedroom unit has a bedroom, of course, that has a queen bed in it, sleeps 2, and the sofa pulls out, and you can sleep 2 there, so it'll hold 4. They also have a 1-bedroom loft unit that has, it goes upstairs in the living room. There's a stairway that goes up, and there's a king bed up there, and that loft is usually bigger than most hotel rooms. So that those loft units, 1-bedrooms, will sleep 6. They also have 2-bedroom loft units, where you'll have a king in the master bedroom, a queen in the back bedroom, the sofa pulls out to a queen, and then the loft has a king in it. So those will actually hold 8 people. So very large units. Those are getting close to 1,400 square feet. And the other ones are about 1,100 square feet for the 1-bedroom. Really nice roomy units. And not every place has something like that. So those are really nice features to have. The loft units, there aren't a ton of them in the resort, so if you need something like that, again, planning early. Planning is the big part. So let's get a little bit into the location of the island where the resort is. So the Pono Kai is on the east side, and you are going to be landing in Lihue when you go to Kauai. So that's LIH is the airport code, and it's only about 15 minutes south of the Pono Kai in Lihue. Lihue is the largest town in the on the island. And so it's really easy to get to. The signs take you right there, and the Pono Kai is right on the main drag. So that's a really good feature there. So you're kind of right in the middle of where you want to be as far as traveling around the island. If it's going to be your first trip or even your second or third trip, you're still going to want to always go to the North Shore, visit Hanalei. You're also going to want to go down to Poipu Beach, which is always ranked one of the best beaches in the world. And that's down on the south side. So they're about equal distance travel-wise, and you're always going to want to be seeing that. Now, if you go to Waimea Canyon, that's going to take you quite a bit longer to drive because it goes way past Poipu, but as you're going around and going up, so that could be a couple hours. But if you're staying up in Princeville, it's going to take you even longer to get there. It is a little bit strange that on such a small island, and because there's only one main road that doesn't even go all the way around the whole island because of the Napali coast up on the northwest side, basically you're going to go up to, if you go up to the very top up north, the road just turns around and you come back, and the same thing happens when you go to Polihali, going down to the south. You're going to go to the end of the road, you're going to turn around and come back. So you're right in the middle. In Kapa'a is really nice, but there is a lot of traffic. There are some times when in the morning there's traffic, there's people going to work, and then in the afternoon, usually mid-afternoon, between 2 and 5 o'clock, there can be a lot of congestion, and a lot of that congestion is in Kapa'a. So knowing, just watching that, if you're there for a day or two, you can see what times are best to leave to hit certain places. Usually leaving early is always better. So just keep that in mind. There's also a bypass there in Kapa'a. You can go by, if you take a left at the, if you're going north, if you take a left at the ABC store, that'll take you around to the bypass, and that'll take you down, and it'll let you out right before the cocoa palms. And so you miss a lot of that traffic that way. Sometimes the bypass really saves a lot of time. There's other times it doesn't. So it's kind of hit or miss with using the bypass. Other good things about the Pono Kai. First off, it's right on the dual purpose walking bike path that goes along the ocean. It goes for miles. You can go all the way to Kalea Beach. It's really beautiful. It's nice and wide. People are riding bikes there all the time. It's nice to be in those oceanfront units at the Pono Kai, and you can just do some people watching, people going by all the time. You're right there looking at the ocean. There's always a nice breeze. Right next door to the Pono Kai, you can rent bikes. I believe it's $10 a day, so you can take your time, ride around. There's bike places where you can lock the bike up on the resort, and you can just keep using that while you're there. Really nice and nice, easy. It's a nice, easy ride. It isn't really all that hilly. Along the way, you can actually stop because you're right just inside of outside of Kapa'a. It's only about a half a block, and you're in Kapa'a. It's kind of right in the middle of the resort, actually, here in Kapa'a. And you can walk right into town. So you're walking distance to restaurants and shops and bars and a lot of other things that you can do. If you walk down the dual purpose path there along the ocean, there's Sam's Ocean View is there, which is a nice oceanfront restaurant. Yeah, they got a nice happy hour there. You can sit and just look at the ocean and enjoy some poo-poos or have dinner there. A little expensive, but not all that much comparing. It is Hawaii, but it is a little bit. You can go to some cheaper places though, but still a nice place to go and easily within walking distance of the Pono Kai. I'll talk a little bit again about the timeshare itself. The Pono Kai has got a couple really nice features. If you're an owner there, you can, if you don't, say you own 1 week, one bedroom week, and your first week that you can use is going to be the year 2020. But say you want to go 2 weeks. So you can actually take your 2020 week, roll it into 2021, and then you'll have that week plus your 2021 week, and you can go 2 weeks the next year. And you can do that, and there isn't any cost to it. So then you just call up, book your 2 reservations, and you can go for 2 weeks. And you can do that while only owning 1 week. So it is a nice little feature. It's called Freedom Plus, and you're able to roll that week forward. So that is a good little feature. Also, again, it's timeshare. It's a week's timeshare, so you have a whole week that you can book any week through 1 through 52 based on availability. And you can also exchange that. So you can use one of the exchange companies. One exchange company that I like to use, and I'll put the link down below in the description, is Platinum Interchange. Sometimes they run specials where if you deposit your 1 week from the Pono Kai with them, they will give you 3 weeks in return. It costs about $120 to use each of those weeks. But again, if you take your maintenance fees, add the $130 times the 3 weeks, you're getting 3 weeks of vacation for only slightly more than your maintenance fees and a couple more $100. So pretty good value there, and they have a good variety. The good part about Platinum Interchange, you can take a look. There's no membership fee with Platinum Interchange. Some of the other ones, RCI, Interval International, they all have membership fees that are $100 a year. Platinum doesn't have that, and you can sign right on it. You can check their inventory and see what's around. So now, the Pono Kai is not a Marriott level or a Sheraton level, Hyatt level type place, but it's a good solid place that is nice and clean, very large units, and more than what you need for an enjoyable stay. So, and it'll save you a considerable amount of money. A week staying at the Marriott is going to cost you 3 times what it will at the Pono Kai. So if you're somebody who's going to spend some time there, maybe even snowbird a little bit, where you're going to want to stay 2, 3, or even 4 weeks, it's possible on Pono Kai timeshare. So it definitely has some value. I don't want to get into too much with more of the timeshare. I'm going to end out having another video just concentrating on timeshare, and again, I'll be doing that with most of these. I'll spend a little bit more time on the island of Kauai, and I'll even break that down to the east side, south side, and north side, and things to do. I'm going to have my website, Pono Kai Owner Rentals, listed down below. I have a lot of video on there. There's a lot of activities that we had done over the years. There's tubing the ditch that you can go and you can do tubing. It's really neat. A really neat activity. It takes a few hours. There's also a kayaking trip. You can go kayak. And you walk over and you go through the forest a little bit, got across the stream, and you end up going up over this hill, and there's Secret Falls, and you can go swim at Secret Falls. Some really nice activities. Kauai is great for hiking. There's a lot of hiking trails, so all that is free. Going to Waimea Canyon is free. There's a blowhole that you can drive up to. There's a couple waterfalls you can actually drive up to. So you don't have to be in the best of shape to do all these things either. Some things you can drive to. You'll get a lot of value out of renting a car and exploring.